Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
Baka.
So guys,
What up?
sorry we weren't here last week. That was a crazy weekend. Although this crazy weekend, like I'm pretty sure that normal weekends don't exist anymore for me for right now. So
What's a
it's
normal?
Right,
yeah, I know, right? Right.
it's the new normal. Welcome to the new world.
Define normal.
Your average weekend where you get to sleep extra and not do anything. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, what games has everybody been playing?
I've been playing Splitgate and
What? No way. It's only like
Splitgate and Splitgate to the point to where I literally have Splitgate on my Xbox Series X, and I go on to do the dailies, and then I also have it on my PC where I go on and do the dailies and the weeklies on both as well.
Someone has a problem.
I have a problem.
I got one of those too.
Yeah. For those that aren't familiar with Splitgate and how you've been living under a rock for the last 2 weeks, I don't know, but we'll discuss it anyway. Splitgate is basically, think Halo multiplayer plus Portal, and that's the easiest way to explain it.
I'd probably say a dash of Portal. Like you get that little dash of
A little
Portal in
sprinkle
there.
on the top.
Well, it's got portals that work exactly the same, so I'm going to
Yes.
say it plus Portal.
But probably less puzzle solving. It's just the
Yeah.
portal mechanic.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just a
I would
single
say the
mechanic.
only puzzle solving that you have to do, like once you learn the portal system really well, you can do what they call the third portal move, which is basically you can do you put a portal down and then you put a portal across the map somewhere, and then you literally just kind of step slightly through your first portal and you're standing on the opposite portal, and then you could put another portal down on the opposite side somewhere quickly and then turn around and walk into that area. So it's like you can literally just move around the map really, really fast if you know what you're doing. And I've seen people do it on an absurd level. Like, it is so fast when you see people do it for the first time. I was like, holy crap. Like, I knew it existed. I learned how to do it. But I am like, am I hitting the right button to make this portal go to where I need to and then turn around? But it's fun. The gunplay is really, really good. The shotgun is I know I'm stepping out saying this, but this is the best shotgun feel in a multiplayer I have felt since Halo 3. It is the
Okay, so
All
it's not
right, all
replacing
right.
Halo.
No,
Yeah.
it's close though. It is close. The feel of it is so nice. It's so satisfying. They have some cool thing. We played around with their because you can do custom games in the beta. So we played around a little bit with it, and it's got the same type of mess with the gravity, mess with the speed on how fast everybody can run around.
Yeah.
They have which last night we decided if we were gonna do just the BFB, which is the big fucking bat, which is essentially the hammer from Halo.
It's a grab hammer.
And
a grab bat.
Yep. And
Grab
so we actually made it to where the gravity was like as low as you could make it, which I think is 0.25 of normal, and then made it to where all we had was the bats or whatever, and we were just like basically floating around, and it was like aerial moves of us floating around trying to hit each other with bats. That was fun, but my friends found out real quick why you don't give me a shotgun. Because it's like I will destroy you in a game of shotguns. And so it was fun though. We've kind of experimented, played. They have Oddball, which was one of my favorite style of games from or mode of games, I guess, rather than from the original from Halo. They have a game. There's a game in COD that is called Kill Confirmed, and in the game Kill Confirmed, you actually, when you kill somebody, they drop a set of dog tags. Well, they have a game similar to this one that drops tea bags, and so you have to pick it up in order
If
to
you
be
tell
able
me
to
by
score.
crouching, I'm gonna.
You actually have to pick it up by crouching, and you
I
can
knew it.
deny, like if somebody kills your friend and they're next to you, you have to teabag your friend to get rid of.
That's a game
their
mode that needs to go away. Yeah.
But it's temporarily up right now, but it is one of the ones that you can do in a custom too. But
Oh my
they
God.
actually have a stat for teabagging, which I am not okay with, but I think that's part of the reason they created this mode, was kind of make it a thing at the end of the day, because you're scoring points accordingly for your kill confirmed. The sniper rifle feels really good. They do have microtransactions, but all microtransactions are completely cosmetic. There is no there's no advantage to doing that. The battle pass only goes to 15, and it goes to 15 and stops, and anybody can get it. All you got to do is be able to play the game. So it's, you know, and it unlocks a little bit of whatever their currency is. I can't think of what it's called right now. Split cash, maybe split coin, something like that. So they have it. I've played a ton of that. And I've got really good games and really bad games, and I had to report somebody for straight up aimbotting of some sort. Because we're playing a game of Team SWAT, which, for those not familiar, Team SWAT is headshots are an immediate kill. Everything else you can just do a regular kill, and like any other type of death match, you have a certain amount that you have to get to. And so that guy had 37 kills. He headshot more than anybody I've ever seen, and watching him do it, he was doing it in spin moves. He would do like a 360 spin, everything else. I was like, there is no way this guy is doing it. And we get to see, like, because they also have it to where you have a death cam, so you can see how the person's playing. And so I was watching him do it. I was like, there is no way. So I reported him. They do have a report system too if somebody's using language they should not be using, and I don't mean cussing. I mean
My God,
you know,
language.
racial derogatory terms towards people, whatever it happens to be. So they do have an entire report system built into that. They have a way of muting the other people if you want to do that, which is what I usually do. As soon as they start talking, I mute them. But the overall, like it's beta, obviously, so there are some issues that are there. The rank system seems to be the biggest issue for me, because the rank system has just like a lot of games nowadays, where you have to play like 5 or 6 games and then they figure out where to place you into the ranking system.
Placement matches.
You can't get into a game. Like, there's not enough people trying to get into the ranked games to be able to do that.
Really?
And like, they are in certain ones, like Takedown, which I really like that mode. Takedown is basically, once you die, you've got like a timer that gets longer and longer every time you die, and it's 3v3. And then the idea is to you know, because people can continue to respawn, but as that timer gets longer, it's very hard to get back into the game. The other person's got to survive long enough. So you and it's got like 7 rounds, and you just have to win 4 of those rounds to get in.
How do
That
you
one's
win
easy
those
to get
rounds?
into,
You
but
have to wipe out the other team.
you have to wipe out the other team.
Okay.
They have Showdown also, which does wipe out the other team, and then also has a Fiesta style swapping of weapons every time you start a new
I
round.
love Fiesta. So dumb.
And which Team Fiesta is in this too, and I love it. I love Team Fiesta. So and they did a really good. They did another one that if you're playing solo, it's called Gun Game, and the way Gun Game wins is every time you kill someone, your gun shifts. You don't have a secondary weapon. You only have one gun, and it makes its way through all the guns and then goes right back down again. So it'll start off with, let's say, the assault rifle and go all the way up to a pistol. And then you have to go all the way back down to the assault rifle, and then you have fists. And if you get the kill with the fist, you win.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
let me punch you
they
to
did a
death.
really good job, I think, of the different game modes that were there. The other game that I played, I've started Boyfriend Dungeon.
I'm gonna play that.
I'm gonna try to not spoil it for anybody. I will say this though, if you have an Xbox, it is on the Game Pass for Xbox. But I actually have it on PC and I'm playing it there as well as on
I'm just playing it twice so
Xbox
you can
upstairs.
date multiple swords.
Yeah. That's right.
Without cheating.
The way it's very interesting the way it's set up, which I knew they were going to do this to start with, which is it allows you to set your identifier if you want to identify as female, male, or non-binary. There's some aspects of the dating part of it I have an issue with, which is because you can be friends with anybody. But sometimes if you just want to be friends, it's like your cousin who's the main person that's kind of narrating it for you doesn't get, I don't want to date this person. And so they'll have like a dialogue set up and it's like, that's okay. So you just go through the dialogue and then you just, when you meet the person, you let them know I'm not interested in you type thing. The intros to each one of the people though, like changing from a weapon to an actual person,
it's very flashy from what I understand.
Fantastic. And one of them straight up reminds me of Thundercats.
Oh no.
the whole weapon and turning into Lion-O with his hair like flowing and all that stuff.
God.
Straight up reminds me of that. So there's different one of those. There's male, female, there's cats. Like there's all different types of stuff like that. The gameplay itself, the only hint I will give anybody on gameplay is learn to use the roll dodge.
Am I gonna I can't decide what I think about the gameplay of it. Am I gonna not like the gameplay?
I think you'll be fine with the gameplay. Each weapon has its own feel.
Okay.
I will say that. So I think the only problem is you start off with like a saber, and it is more like what you think of as somebody fencing, right? Like kind of a more pokey style. Mm-hmm. And there's some that are swipe and things like that. And you get a choice when you go into the dungeon area, which one of those weapons you want to choose each time. And if you go to another level, it'll ask you again, do you want to switch weapons? So I think you'll be fine. You might end up handing it over to chicken at the end of the day. I don't know. Just to be able to do the dating simulator part of it. I don't know.
I think it's weird that one of them
I
is
like
a
it.
cat.
Huh?
I think it's weird that
I haven't gotten to that part yet. I just know it's in the trailer. It was in the trailer.
Yeah,
so I was like,
that's
oh,
I
great.
don't know anything about it, obviously. I just know that one of the things is a cat.
Mm-hmm. But the weapons look cool, like the designs of them. And one of the characters, Rowan, which I've not gotten to yet, I just found out yesterday, is actually designed by one of the people that designed Hatoful Boyfriend.
Nice. So that's where we're
So
at.
I don't know who Rowan is. That could be the cat for all I know, but
It's not. The cat has a cat name.
but I mean, after this game 3 or 4 years ago when they first announced it, and I've seen it at PAX a couple years ago, I'm glad it's finally out. People seem to be enjoying it. It does have a really good sense of humor to it. They've done some interesting things for those people that are kind of wondering how they've adjusted, because it is sensitive material for some people, especially in the world that we live in nowadays. They give you an option. It literally will pop up on the screen. You're gonna get text from a character named Mom. Is that okay?
Why?
Is that okay? Like, and I was like, I guess if you have a bad relationship with your mom, you say no, or if your mom's no longer like, you say no. Like, I don't. But I'm like, okay, I got text from Mom, and I like the text from Mom because they make me feel better about everything that's going on, because Mom is a mom in this. She's just like, are you okay? Is everything fine with your life? Whatever, she's kind of a loving mom. But and then you have text conversations that for different people that are in the game too, to where you can answer back, specifically your cousin, because that's why you live in the area you do, is because your cousin lives there too. You're actually living in his apartment, but so it's kind of, I like the whole concept of it. I think they did a really good job with this sensitive material, trying to figure out how to make the gameplay fun and make it okay for like somebody that's, you know, a straight male that's playing a game to where I'm dating swords that might be a dude. At the end of the day, I feel comfortable with it. Like I didn't have a problem with any issues. There is one character though, and I need Grif to play this because I fucking hate this character so bad.
Okay.
So bad. So I need her to play it because I want to see if she thinks he's as smarmy as I do. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't like this guy at all. Please stop contacting me. But I'll get one text from him every day. Like, stop it. But, you know, other than that, game's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'll let y'all know more for sure. Because I'll go back to playing it as soon as I get done with this. And then I've also been playing Green Hell with No Pants. And with the Spirits of Amazonia level, which it's very interesting. We're still alive at this point, but I've started building up our base a little bit where we did that first time when we did it when we did the first version of it. We built the base first. This time we're just kind of like living in a cave, no real base or anything like that. So I'm like building stuff around the outside of it to actually give ourselves a little bit of a home and stuff to do.
Making it homey. We bought some throw pillows and, you know, I made a candle.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Nice. We've played something together, but I'll hold on to that because it ties into some of the news. But I have been playing Mass Effect 3 still. I know, I have like no time, so it's gonna take me 16 years to finish it. But I'm to a point where Chicken is convinced that I have played some of these missions, and I am convinced that I have not. Because I cannot remember doing them.
First of all, who is surprised by that?
Look at me. Look at me.
No
I hate
one.
Alright, cool.
I hate you.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
But I did a mission last night, and this is like the second time in this game that I'm like, oh, gonna have to reload that. Something's wrong. Because I completed the mission and somebody died, and I was like, oh, hell no. I know you did not. Just, you know, make this happen. What? And I like immediately like paused the game, pulled up the Google, and I was like, let me see, is there a way for this to not happen like this? Yes, there is a way for possibly this to not happen like this. And now I have to go back today, do a different mission, and then go back to that and see if I can change it because I have this like insane need to save everyone. Nobody
All I'm
can
saying
die.
is Grif is speedrunning this game twice. She's like, all right, I'm going to get the bad ending, and then I'm going to reload and get the good
No.
ending. Cool, let's go to the next one. Let's get the bad ending. Let's get the good ending. She gets to see everything in one playthrough. She's like, I don't have enough time to play this again. It's fun. Let's just see everything.
The only problem she runs into on that is the fact that she won't see the bad ending, like the actual final bad ending, because of, you know, she's already corrected the problems. It's just that.
I'm trying to fix everything, okay?
I mean, it's Mass Effect 3, though. I mean, the endings were basically just what color do you want?
Well, I haven't ever played the ending, so you shut your mouth for a minute. Give me
There's
another
a lot
6
more,
weeks and I'll finish it.
There's a lot more to that than just pick a color.
They slightly correct some of it too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I've heard that the
did
endings have changed a
so-
little in the Legendary Edition.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't experience it the first time, so I don't know. But I've cried more in the past, like, 3 weeks playing this stupid game than I think I have over, like, real-life stuff in a year. Because BioWare used to be able to write things that made you feel something. And then, you know, they didn't. They stopped.
You know, to be fair, most companies used to be able to do that, but I don't know. This last decade of video games, it's like...
Are we just
I don't
jaded,
wa-
or
I
has
don't
it
wanna
really gone that far?
generalize. I don't want to generalize, but this last decade of gaming from 2010 to 2020, like, the quality has just gone down on an average. I'm not going to say there are bad games out there. I'm just saying games were a whole hell of a lot more well written back in the late 2000s, early 2010s than they are now.
I mean,
I think
things get released too quickly, things are getting pumped out too fast, or things are too bloated. Like, there's no good balance anymore.
some games hit a really nice sweet spot, and there's some really, like, epic stories. Red Dead Redemption is, like, the first one that jumps out, you know, as being a
Red
very
Dead 2.
recent... Yeah, Red Dead Redemption
So
2
good.
There's some, but the ones that are good, though, are the games like Red Dead, where the developers actually
took the time.
take their time to do the game instead of just like, well, we got a hit. Let's get a sequel out now.
Yeah. Or you end up with stuff like Cyberpunk that should have stayed in production for a little longer, not because the story was necessarily, there was anything wrong with that, is that the technical side wasn't ready. And so that overshadowed any story because a lot of people couldn't progress your story, so...
Yeah, I also think Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of had that, because the first game was so good, they just kind of built the prequel onto that moved into the second game, or the first game, and it was so well written,
they
and
did
it flowed
such a
so
good
well
job
into
with it.
the first game, too.
Well, I think the other thing is, too, is it allows you to be able, because you've created a universe that's there, so if they create another game, they can do a sequel either years after the last one, or like the first one, I guess you would say. And you know, just kind of combine it and make it better that way. But I do think that we're going to end up with a remastered, or not a remastered, a remake version of the original anyway.
Yes, I can.
Maybe with horses that don't deflate.
Because you can't go forward. It was 1911, which is when the West started getting more...
starting to be gentrified and settled and civilized.
So it starts
they own
changing.
The rights to it, they could go back and make Red Dead Revolver.
Well, I mean, you could always go to another part of the West and have a different story altogether. It's just, I think one of the things that you have to, like, one of the things they did well is you know where Red Dead 2 is going if you played the first Red Dead, because you know it's a prequel, but they didn't retcon anything really, and it made a whole lot of sense to flesh out a lot of the back to give you more context for the sequel. So, I mean, sometimes it's hard to exist in that we know where we're going, we just have to get there without rearranging the past too much that we've already established, and some games have fallen into a retcon problem.
There have been several games that have had problems going behind their games and then being like, well, this doesn't make sense, let's retcon it and just call it good.
Turns out you were the bad guy all along. Surprise.
Oh, no.
But yeah, Mass
Still feel
Effect
that salt
is
from here.
just killing me over here. I will be fixing that at some point this week. I will save that person. I will try to save that person. I cried though. Man, doing a lot of crying. The other thing that we've done for 2 weeks now, or we tried to do it last night, but definitely the week before, is Back 4 Blood's beta was out. And so we played in that. And I don't know how I feel about it. Like, you can definitely tell they were like, we made the original Left 4 Dead, and we want to keep a lot of what people liked about it, but make it new and different enough that it can be exciting. But I don't know that they made it different enough to be exciting. There are parts of it that feel incredibly predictable because you've played Left 4 Dead. It's like, okay, well, here's a horde, and there's a big spot right there, and it's open, so I bet there's a big, oh, look, there's a big thing right there. Okay, here's some doors that we can and can't get into. I guess that's neat. We can get a toolkit and open that one, but that's an alarm door, so stay away from it. I mean, it's just... there's something missing, like some little magic je ne sais quoi that's missing in Back 4 Blood for me. It's not a bad game. It's not like something that I would be like, I'm never playing that, but it's something that I will be picking up on sale at some point after the launch of it, not something I'm looking for day one.
Especially after maybe they get some more modes or something in it as well.
I think one of the main problems is, like, they moved the dynamic style of the game to, like, the card system, which I really enjoy. The different, like, you have the alarm doors, so now you have to be aware of the doors, or extra hordes, or because sometimes the hordes will be a little slower, like they'll just come after you, and if you have the ferocious hordes, they move a lot faster after you, so you've got this, but it's a lot slower of a gameplay, because in my opinion, I think the trauma system was what was missing from the first game.
You should probably say what the trauma system is.
I was going to explain it. So, if you've ever played Left 4 Dead and any of them, when you take damage, your health goes from 100 and goes down. You heal and you go back up to full. The trauma system is as you take damage, your green health bar slowly deteriorates into a red health bar. If you take damage to that red health bar, it deals trauma damage, which reduces your max health.
Yeah.
So how much you could heal too. Like, unfortunately, I did not get to play what I wanted of the normal difficulty, because I started like realizing you have to go into the game with an entirely different mindset. You have to play calculated. You have to play methodical. You've got to use your bandages, and you've got to use pain pills strategically. Like, if you take a little bit of damage, pop a bandage. Get yourself back healed up before you start taking trauma damage. Like, because we got to the end of one map, and we've already taken so much fucking damage that our max health was like 40% or more. Like, we were not being conscientious about taking trauma damage.
Yeah. Well, it's a new mechanic that we were figuring out, so I don't think that we were, like, dumb, but it did take us a little bit to go, okay, this is why that bar is black and red instead of just red, and it doesn't heal past that. Although you can use certain, like, heals to fix that, though.
Yeah, like, they even said that first aid kits are supposed to heal trauma damage, but they don't right now. It's going to be fixed when the game full releases. The difficulty swing is also ridiculous.
Yeah, there was a real
easy
disparity between easy and normal.
Yeah, like, easy is absolutely no problem. I literally just had a super buffed gun, and I would just...
Yeah, it was...
Basically, I could just solo through everything, and everybody just kind of follows up and cleans it up, but... Nobody takes damage. You have 4 free charges when you find the health stations, which means everybody gets a free charge and fully heals their trauma damage, and you just continue moving on.
But then it goes to normal, where it's just instantly... There's like, they throw out one special every once in a while in easy, but in normal it's like, okay, well, there are 2 tall boys right there and a vomit guy right there. Okay, this is fun. This is cool. Like, it feels like they went... This is easy. This is, like... closer to the hard difficulty, but we're gonna call it normal, because it's real easy in the normal one to get overwhelmed really fast.
I would be interested to see the difference between normal and hard. Like if it's closer together in difficulty than normal and easy are. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it probably is, to be honest. And I will say one of the things that feels unsatisfying about it, and this is somebody that plays usually more close quarters characters like shotguns, melee weapons. It's hard if you are playing a close range character and your other teammates are playing at range. Like between Chicken and Baka, I was like, I'll just stand here because I can't get close enough to any of them before they fall over dead in front of me. And at one point I was like, hey guys, I have a card active that lets me get health back when I melee. I am low health. Let me melee. And then things just kept dying before I could run up to them. I'm like, seriously, I just need you to let me punch a few zombies, if you don't mind. I got to punch like 1 zombie and the rest of them were just already dead. And I'm like, I'll be over here with my shotgun and my knife.
That was a large complaint too. I've read from a lot of people, is that the melee system feels pretty bad. But one thing I wanted to touch on for the health stations on normal, in easy you get 4 free health stations, and then it's 400 copper for every heal afterwards. On normal you get 1 free health station use, and then you have to pay 400 copper, and then on the next difficulty up you get 0. So you go 4, 1, 0.
Well, it becomes more important for you to put the currency cards into play. It's changing how you prioritize
but you should
your
still
deck.
give 2. And then either 1 or 0 on the next difficulty up.
That's part of the difficulty. Is
I would say 1. How many difficulties? 3 or 4?
There's 3 difficulties.
Yeah, I would say 2.
Yeah, 2 seems to be like general consensus.
And random 0 to 1 on nightmare difficulty.
Yeah, like that seems much more like balanced than basically, well, you've all taken a shitload of damage, only one of you gets one of these heals for free, and the rest of you have to spend all of your copper. Yeah, like, it's got a lot of potential, and I see where they want to go for it.
They just have to fix some stuff.
It's gonna require some work, and I also found this little complaint pretty damn hilarious. People are complaining about how much blood your character gets covered in.
Oh man, it's like 2 seconds and you're just covered in it.
You're just like from head to toe, your character's just straight 100% red.
Yeah.
And it's going to be funny because they're going to be selling cosmetics for your character.
So it covers up your
that
cosmetic
you're not going to
instantly.
be able to see at all because you're literally going to be covered.
Well, you already don't.
head
It's
to
first
toe.
person, so you don't see a lot of the cosmetics to start with. But yeah,
It's
other
the same
people
thing with
won't
Left 4
see
Dead.
it.
You don't see the mods.
Oh.
No,
I mean,
the
I
other
do.
issue with,
Yeah, but you don't see
other
your
issue
character.
with being covered in that much blood. Graphically, like the other characters blend in with the zombies.
Yeah,
really well,
that's true.
Especially in the dark.
It's sometimes hard to see. And I will say Chicken touched on the melee stuff being a little wonky. It is. They have two characters. Holly starts with a bat that's supposed to be her main weapon, and Evangelo starts with a machete that is supposed to be his main weapon. If you have the melee that turns your punch into a knife, those are one-shot kills, but a machete and a bat take 3 or 4 swings. Why? Why would you make my main weapon something that's weaker than my punch?
That card is 100% broken because
it
also,
is.
as I've learned, you can reload while meleeing. So I have a sniper, like a medium range sniper. So I unload the entire thing and then start the reload animation and then just walk forward, stab,
'cause it's one shot
stab,
kill.
clear them out until I get some space, and then my gun's fully reloaded, and I go back to this, and then reload and stab. Basically, I could keep an entire horde within arm's reach without ever having any downtime at all.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll fix the melee reload thing, but the melee in general needs to be addressed a little. Like that, having the knife and them being one-shot kills and it's stronger than a lot of characters' starting weapons seems weird to me.
Yeah, I should not have 3 arms where 2 of them are reloading my rifle and then the third arm is stabbing the zombies as they run up at me.
Yeah. It's not a bad game. It just has a lot of balance issues that really need to be addressed. And then the
that's
card
why it's
system
beta, right?
Yeah, I mean that's why it's beta.
Exactly.
But the thing is we're betaing it 2 months before it launches. So I mean that's a lot of stuff to fix in 2 months.
Well,
I
I
mean,
guarantee it's going to be like everything else. They're going to fix it afterwards.
Yeah, it'll be.
Well, I think you're gonna have a major day one patch, just like everything else does.
That's what we do
The game
now.
is 64 gig or whatever it happens to be, and the patch will be 72 gig.
It's the whole game again.
Yeah, like they do with everything. But I will be interested to see what changes they make from the beta to then, based on what y'all are saying.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be interesting to see how the game plays out.
Yeah.
And then also difficulty. Like, that's insane to me that you go from 4 to 1.
It's gotta
Yeah.
be so that you reprioritize how you play your deck of cards, so that it incentivizes you to keep playing, so that you can unlock the other cards through the supply line.
But that
it's
should be
all
more
part
for
of
like the difficulty up from that. Like when you play on survive, like the absolute end, you have to like build decks and like work around each other. You got to have a copper finder. You've got to make sure that you've got a good healer. You got to make sure that you've got a ranged and a melee. Like you've got to build a better team. Where normal, your average difficulty should not be so punishing. The last difficulty should be super
I feel
punishing.
like the easy one, based on what you're telling me, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the easier one is not prioritizing the actual card, your deck system.
Yeah, not at all.
So actually a better thought process would be actually figure out a way to help prioritize it, so you're learning at the easy level.
Yeah.
So when you move to the normal level, again,
I
make
guess-
it a little easier than it is.
I guess the
Then you've
easy
already
one is
kind
to
of
test
learned how to
out.
prioritize and move over, right?
Yeah, I think the easy one would be like to test out weapons and get builds and things like that.
Yeah, to try out the things that you want to try out and stuff like that
Yeah.
before it's
That's
important.
what I was doing. Like I put in a bunch of reload speed cards in my deck just to see how quickly I can reload certain weapons.
Yeah, I guess that's what
Yeah.
easy is for, is just kind of playing around with it. But it really does, that next step up to normal is that step's a bit high. Like,
Sounds like you need 4 different levels in.
yeah, it really should be
Yeah.
4. It should be, what normal is could probably be tweaked to be something like advanced, and then have your hard difficulty be the final step up instead of it being.
I mean, if you want to go like that, you
easy.
go 4, 3, 2, or 1, or 4, 2, 1, and then 0.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like
something
there definitely needs to be a fix. We didn't get to try out the versus mode, which is
Baka
like
tried
a
it
horde
out.
mode. Did you
I
try
did.
it out?
Yeah,
Is
Baka-
it terrible?
I am not a fan of it.
I figured.
I ran into a few issues with it. The first game that I played in, one of our teammates left like right in the middle of it, so it basically just screwed us. So like when we were the survivors, it only took two of them to capture us, like a tall boy, and then the other one was the spider thing, so that web, and that was it. Like we couldn't do anything. Because our teammate left, and when we became the infected, we couldn't do anything to them because, well, there's three of them, and we couldn't get close enough to them. They were hiding in a building where the only entrance was like a door, and we were too big to get into it.
That seems
the
broken.
The map shrinks like every so often, like every round kind of a thing. So like they couldn't use it next round, but for that first round, it's like we can't even get into the damn door.
Huh.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that seems a little broken. Hopefully you reported that.
It won't be campaign versus. Like, that multiplayer mode is separate, and that was the news thing, is there at present is no plans, because like Left 4 Dead, you had campaign multiplayer where you'd go through the maps as the infected and then go through as the survivors and go back and forth round robin, and then have like a point value at the end. Essentially, this will not have that, which is kind of sad.
And that is going to this right here is the number one thing I have seen complained about the most. Like, unparalleled to everything else about this game, everybody wanted campaign versus. Just because it's part of what makes Left 4 Dead so much fun, and there is none, which, I'll be honest, I kind of saw this coming, because playing it, you get this really strong feeling that this game was not balanced around PvP.
Yeah, it's barely balanced as is, but...
Yeah, like, man... There's no way that it would be reasonable for, especially with the systems for the survivors, to have to deal with 4 of the ridden. Like, you get 2 tall boys, a retcher, and a jumping one. I don't remember what its name is. And you're just screwed. You're going to take so much damage from them. It's unbelievable. I mean, you get 2 tall boys, you're just fucked. Period. Like, we've been in a couple scenarios where we got 2 tall boys, and
they'll wreck you.
I don't know. They just pin us in a room, and then they start slamming their hand, and there's like, shit. And then the other one runs up and grabs you, and you're trying to shoot the one slamming, and your partner dies, and then the other guy knocks everybody else out, and you're just like, well, all right, cool. That's that. It's just really, really unbalanced for PvP in campaign style.
I guess one of the things they could do to combat that is limit it to like one active type of special at a time. So you can't have
give
double.
Them 2, and then let the players control the zombies, and try to have them help trigger hordes and things like that. Like, but I'm a creative thinker. Like, I can try to balance that style out where you have to figure out how to make it so that you can play like that. But they're not interested in it right now, so I do not see that happening.
Yeah,
which is going to turn off a lot of people.
It's going to really hurt the game sales of it.
Oh, 100%. Like, the price point is one thing for hurting sales, because if it was $40, I'd be a lot more interested. But $60 for this, I'm not sold right now. It's just a little too much for a game of this caliber, when I could just go back and buy Left 4 Dead 8 times for a bunch of people and then play that with an entire squad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
Well,
to be fair, Left 4 Dead's how old now, and it was $60 when it was released.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's
we've
true.
gotten a lot more use out of that game.
And we bought it twice. 3 times technically, I guess, because buying Left 4 Dead 2 came with Left 4 Dead 1.
Yeah.
Which we already own.
Yeah.
So.
I bought 1, 2 on 360 for both of those, right? Are they both on 360?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which we bought
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 on
and then I bought the
360,
PC version of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because wasn't it like a year or a year and a half later they came out with Left 4 Dead 2? They're like, oh, we had all these new systems that we wanted to
Yeah.
input, and so
It
we just
wasn't
made a
that
new
long.
game.
Yeah.
And then they just put Left 4 Dead into Left 4 Dead 2, and they're like, all right, everybody, it's $5 for both games, and you get everything.
And then
Cool.
mods. Oh my god, the mods.
The mods are what make that though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely kept Left 4 Dead alive as long as it has been. It's just fun
Give
to
me my
play
cat
around.
gun.
Bounty Bravo tank.
Yeah, I mean, like, every once in a while you're like, I want something that's just silly. Let me load this up with a bunch of stupid mods so that I can, like, mow down stormtroopers.
I mean, I still go in every once in a while and play 10v10s because it's just fun when you have 10 infected and 10 survivors and they just...
The
you
rules
just
are
try to
different.
pick them off. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's messy fun. Is what I like to call it.
Oh, man. Let's talk about some news now that we're, like, over half an hour into the 40 minutes into the show.
Me and Baka played Pokemon Unite.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You guys played
I have an addiction. I am straight up addicted to it. I am gone. I was just on a 6-game win streak. I went from great, because the ranking system is beginner, great, veteran, expert, something else, and then masters, the last one. But I win a winning streak all the way from great to expert now. So I'm a pretty decent player. I've gotten the like full mechanics of the game down and everything, and I'm just lost to it. Every time now it's like, oh, I'll just throw it up and play a few rounds, try to get my rank up.
How long does it take you to get to the 14?
To get to what?
The 14, the number that we've always it's been the controversy of the game, like that you can only get so far in the game.
I'm nowhere even close. Like it's you could do 30 of the energy things, which I don't even think I could get to, and my battle pass experience is nowhere near enough either. Like, I do not play enough to cap myself on the leveling system.
So
But-
it doesn't. The wins and losses aren't going to matter as much as just how often you're playing. Basically.
Yeah, like you got to play hardcore to get yourself up that level. And I will say the upgrade curve for your items, because that's how you get your items stronger to make your Pokemon, is
Right.
unfucking believable. It's like, oh yeah, you get level 10 items, no problem. And then when you get to 10, it's like triple what it required on each level up from that. It's like, oh yeah, 10, 10, 5, 5, 6, 7, whatever, 35, 80, 90, 100. It's like, holy shit. I don't have enough fucking tokens to start leveling them up that much, because I was like, all right, I'll get a bunch of my items to 10. You get 100 tokens and you can get your item up to a 10. Then you need like 5,000 tokens to get it up from 10 to 20. It's like, oh my god.
That's a lot of tokens.
Yeah. I think I've got like an 11, a 12, and another 11. It's like, I'm just going to try to level these up. Yeah, you're going to level one
A
up.
lot of mine are 10. I do have 120.
Oh, nice. I haven't spent all of my tickets on the upgrade tokens
to
yet.
be fair, like, before I started figuring all that stuff out, I sunk everything into one. So
Which
that
one
became
did you
cool.
upgrade?
The bell.
Oh, that's
Oh.
pretty good. The shell bell, that's a good one to do.
Okay. I was like, well, which bell? There's like 4, right?
No, I know which one.
Like victory.
No, it's the shell bell.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
spot my
that's been
cooldowns.
that's been my go-to game. Now I just get sucked in on it, and it's like, all right, let's just play a few more ranked rounds, see if I can get another rank, because I'm just tossed into it now.
The crack, the addiction is so real. It's just like, got ya.
Like it builds this like it fills this competitive need that I have right now, because whenever I play ranked now. Like I'm burning myself into the ranked matches because I'm good, and I can tell that I'm a lot better. I've had a few moments playing with Baka where I play Charmander and it goes rough, and then I hit like level 9 and I turn into Charizard, and it's like, yo dog, I'm in the game now, and I 3v1 the team that was whooping my ass. It's like, all right, cool, this is what I could actually do. And it's really nice that these games are not like fully decided what early on or whatnot, because we've had several games where we're getting whooped on one side and the other side is straight whooping. And or if you're getting whooped all the way through and then 5 minutes into the game it starts turning, and then 2 minutes into the game or 2 minutes left you get Zapdos and you can just start dropping huge, and then you just pull out a win from behind. It's super nice that you never feel like you're just done.
So certain Pokemon don't get better until they've leveled a bit. So.
Like they got a nice little strength curve where, you know, once the game goes on, they get a lot stronger, which is nice. Like Charmander is one of them. Like he's okay early, but when he becomes Charizard later, he just absolutely claps. I mean, claps hard.
Yeah. Well.
But that's what I've been lost in.
The fun news.
The fun news. Yeah, which one is that?
Well,
oh wait, that I don't know. That's GTA
I like
Vice City.
Yes, that one. That one is fun news. I am so excited for it. I actually own all of those games.
GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas have remasters reportedly in the works for release this year. I don't know if I believe that part, but the idea that they're gonna remaster them, yeah, I can see that.
Them with the GTA 5 engine.
That would probably be a remake more than
that
a
would be
remaster.
A remake.
Remaster just means they're going to clean up how it looks and everything. I doubt we're going to see full remakes of those in the new engine. But I do
the
wonder
the other problem you would have with the remake too is they'd have to rebuy the licensing for this music that they have in those games.
Oh, they have to rebuy it already to put it in there, but I guarantee they're gonna get most of it, but they're gonna have to change out some of it, like they had to do with Tony Hawk, the Pro Skater game that came out a little while ago. They got most of the songs, but
yeah, but that was a remake.
Yeah,
that was a remake, not a remaster. Remaster, technically, I guess. I'm interested to see the legality on that. If you buy and you say, okay, this is for GTA 3, all right, or Vice City, whatever, it's for Vice City, and you go, all right, I'm paying the licensing for any time we release this game, then that's it. And it's like, because if you think about it, when Vice City and San Andreas and GTA 3 were released originally, that contract, nobody ever thought remastering or anything like that would be a normal thing at this point. So I'd be interested to see the legality on that. They might have to buy it again, but
maybe we'll have to see. It'll be interesting with what kind of world we're in business wise now. They're like, hey,
because it could be like you only have 10 years that you can do this, and then we're like 20 something years since then.
Or it was just like, they have a contract to use these songs in this game. Technically, it's the same game, so does their contract carry over into the remastered? Like, it's going to be interesting to see if they can get away with it.
Which like, I know whose lawyers were better.
who thought in the long con?
I'm interested to see how this goes, though. And also, is it going to be a package of them? Like, you buy
if I had to guess, probably.
Group? Or like the GTA Remaster Collection?
What would you pay for that?
I mean, for all three games, they'll probably ask
like
$60.
$40. Oh,
they'll probably ask $60 though. But what price point would you pick it up at? You would probably go for the $40 on sale price point.
Yeah. Like, I own the 3 original. If they're just going to pretty up the graphics, then you're going to have to give me a decent price. I have to pay a new game for
game. I guess it would have to depend on how pretty the graphics are.
Yeah, like if they remake the game entirely on the GTA 5 engines, then you better believe it's going to be worth $60 for 3 fully remastered games. But if they just kind of brush up here and we still got polygons everywhere, then I'm not feeling $60.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, you could buy the 3 originals on PC and use mods.
Exactly. Like, you got to really do something to charge full price.
It says they're also coming to mobile. I hope these are not remasters of previous mobile versions of these games that they are also going to put on PC now. That'll be weird.
No, I don't. I think it's probably going to be the original versions are on mobile, and the remaster versions would be for the newer consoles and stuff.
I don't know, man.
Because I don't see if you're updating a remastering it running on even today's mobile devices yet. Like, give it 5 years, yes, hands down. We'll be playing Xbox 360 games, no problem on there. I don't want to play Xbox 360 games on there. I just say we could. There's a difference. For sure. We have some Nintendo news since he was talking about Nintendo is there. It's just kind of a quick one. It's on there. Nintendo World over in Japan. One of the Goomba towers, which is it's on the Yoshi ride that's there, which I've seen this Yoshi ride, like the entire thing. It is the most boring ride I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh my
So
God.
I know
it's a small world.
whatever the problem was, it was not the ride, because it is such a boring ride. But they think it was strong winds that was caused from a possible typhoon that was going to be in the area, which amazes me because everything in Japan is built earthquake proof.
Except for
Like-
the Goombas.
Well, and I'm
Evidently, the
wondering what
Goombas.
this thing
Stacking
is made
Goombas.
out of. Did you guys watch the little video of them the workers trying to haul it away? It's like 4 people trying to pick this thing up that's like waist high. What is it made out of?
I would
First of
think
all,
concrete.
Did
Right?
you see? Did you see
Oh no,
what
it's
was
several
above the
Goombas
tunnel?
stacked on it. What?
Did you see what was above the tunnel? Because the Goombas are right there. The Yoshi rides
Yeah,
go
it's
like
got
that. Did you see what was
the brick
the
thing?
the
What's-
thwomp?
That's what it's called.
The thwomp was right above the tunnel. Luckily, that didn't fall. That would have
Right.
What is
been
this stuff made
really
out of?
tragic. Concrete.
Well, the thwomp's not made out of much. Like when you see the videos, you
yeah.
can see it's not made out of that's not made out of
It's
concrete.
probably hollow inside.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. Like you want realistic Mario adventures? There you go. A thwomp is gonna knock you out.
In real life. Enjoy
Yeah,
that.
IRL.
I'd be happy if it killed Yoshi.
Well, there's a lot of Yoshis on that ride, so if it just killed one,
A
he'd
lot
been
of Yoshi.
fine. That's all right. I'll hatch another right here.
That's unfortunate. The other piece of, like, the last piece of non-Blizzard related news is that Sony has, for $1 billion, bought Crunchyroll. That's a lot of money.
$1.175 billion.
That's a lot of money. A lot of
That
money.
is a lot of money. So now Sony owns Crunchyroll and Funimation,
Yeah.
which is absolutely crazy because that kind of leans them into a monopoly of anime services.
Yeah.
Especially over here.
I think
Yeah.
the
Warner Brothers
counter
and-
to that is that
What's
you
the
can
one Warner
still-
Brothers has? Was that Crunchyroll? It's on HBO Max. There is one that they have on it, and then Netflix has their own too. So I'm just wondering
Yeah, I know
at what
Netflix
point you're
has
considered
their-
monopoly.
Well, Netflix
Is
and Hulu still provide anime, so you can stream anime in other places. It's just these are the bigger anime streaming services that are specifically for anime. So it's technically not a monopoly because you can get a product elsewhere, but it is, but it's not. But it is, but it's not.
Yeah.
Legally, it's probably not.
Funimation, from this article of October 30th of last year, Funimation had 1 million subscribers and Crunchyroll had 3 million subscribers and a whopping 70 million free members. They get so much traffic. That is exactly what Sony's like, fuck it. Let's just buy an interstate to bring people through our company. and they did. Like, they definitely...
Sony said game streaming? Nah. Let's go anime streaming. That's where the real money is, and they're not wrong.
If they add it,
that's a lot
because
of
they're
money.
interested in adding it to their PlayStation Plus. I mean, because you buy Game Pass for all the games, you buy PlayStation Plus
for the anime.
for the anime. I mean,
Oh my god.
it's smart on Sony because they like if they're a smart business company, they know they're not going to be able to beat Microsoft on the Game Pass thing. Like, you've already lost. You have to figure out a different attack. Like, you're not going to win the game war. Do your exclusives, perfect. Now you've got anime, which backs up your exclusives. And guess what? Do anime of your exclusives, which brings in more people because they want to watch that stuff. So
Netflix to it.
yeah, they're like, all right.
Oh, you're right. It
Let's
was
just-
Warner that owned it. It said, I'm still baffled. There's a comment in that article that says, I'm still baffled that Warner Brothers sold this off with the HBO Max banner. It made sense to have the content still available.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if this was the whole AT&T when they were getting rid of part of Warner Brothers stuff. If this is one of the things
Ooh.
that is kind of part of that, they just went
Yeah.
to Sony and said, "Do you want to buy the rest of this or whatever?"
Want this package deal? Okay.
Yep.
$5.
Yeah, I literally had just pulled up Crunchyroll on HBO Max, and like when you said that, and I was like, oh, it is HBO, and then you were like, here you go.
Yeah. Okay, well that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
I
I mean, it's a smart business decision from Sony to be able to take this route instead of just trying to fight Microsoft in the game war.
I wonder
Pass
if they'll
war.
keep it on HBO Max, be able to put more of their stuff on that. So they'd make a cut off of the HBO Max stuff. And then at the same time, if you have the ultimate version of PlayStation Plus,
The ultimate version.
you know, then you could get it that way too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or you offer more on that part of it than you would HBO Max. Because you're going to have people that don't want all the DC stuff and all that stuff that's on the other one, but are big anime fans.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a good buy. It's a little strong armed from Sony. They're like, hey, you like anime?
Now we have
Hop
anime.
in the truck. Hop in the truck. You're riding the PlayStation
This-
train.
It was just, what, 4 years ago, when the only thing keeping Sony as a company afloat was PlayStation. And they were like hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. And then they can pay $1 billion for this now.
Yeah.
Hey, that PlayStation 5 is pretty good, yo.
Yeah. Can't keep it in stock anywhere.
Those bots, man, they love it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Sony's loving it too because it means they're making the money off of it.
I mean, the haptic controllers and their VR systems are doing well. Like, they are definitely on the up and up now.
Oh, yeah, it's not in the hands of the consumer as
Yeah,
much as it
it's
should
sitting
be.
in a warehouse because some bot bought 45 of them at one time.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms. We have other unpleasant things to discuss. Well, this will have to be shelved until later.
All right, cool.
I'm sure we'll have to talk about it around Christmas when we have the same shortages. Oh.
Mhm.
Okay, let's talk about Blizzard, Activision, and some not great things because that's
Bad things are happening. Done.
yeah.
All of the news is covered. Done.
I mean, it's
So,
one of those
people
things
are
where it
using-
kind of sucks because we're like, I don't really want to talk about it. It's all bad stuff. But it has to be talked about so that it can be
Yep.
addressed. It will not get
Yep.
better if we're all like, I'm just done with this. So we have to talk about it.
So, since we missed the show last week, it was the Tuesday before that J. Allen Brack, which is the you think you do but you don't guy, who came out and was talking about Classic WoW, which, surprise folks, is pretty much the big part of Blizzard running right now because
Yeah.
their main retail version has stalled pretty hard, and Classic's already made, so they can just kind of keep putting things out as
Yeah.
they go along. So they zero resources, tons of money. It's perfect for what Activision Blizzard like to do. But he is gone. The president of Blizzard is gone. He is leaving the company to pursue new opportunities, which is I got kicked out by.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably one of the people that knew what was going on and was not doing anything about it. And
Absolutely.
I think at this point it's like you really this seems like the really easy way out. It's like he got to be like, all right, I'm gonna go do other stuff. Bye, guys. Instead of them being like, you're fired for being shitty. So, although I would say I would like to say at this point, good luck getting another job after everything that's happened under your leadership at this place. But chances are he'll get hired somewhere, and we won't hear about it. It'll be under the radar, but he'll be just fine. Which
Yeah, I
sucks.
don't
There'll
think-
be like no repercussions for this jerkbag. But
I
and I
mean, as
say
long as nothing
jerkbag,
is
he's
tied-
not a great dude. No, if you're defending J. Allen Brack, you're dying on the wrong hill.
I don't think there's really any defending him. I think it's more or less just like letting him walk off and be like, all right, you really didn't do anything good to help these people, so
Yeah.
go find a rock to hide under and just let's forget about you.
Yeah.
Jen O'Neill and Mike Barra are the two that are now co-leaders of Blizzard. One of them, O'Neill, is an ex-Vicarious Visions head, the EVP of development at Blizzard when the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 developer merged into Blizzard to help them. So it's when Blizzard bought Vicarious Visions, and she was one of the ones. Is that her, Jen O'Neill? Yeah. She was one of the ones that was in charge of producing those two games and helping Diablo 2 Resurrected. Speaking of which, I played this weekend because I got into the early access beta. It looks so good.
I wish Blizzard wasn't such a garbage company right now.
So do I. Like, it kills me. And then, let's see. Bara was a veteran member of the Microsoft Xbox team before joining Blizzard in 2019, and he became the chief of Battle.net. So they are both very high-leveled people that are now in charge of Blizzard.
Well, hopefully they can do more than say stupid things like, I disdain bro culture and spent my career fighting against it when you have literally done nothing. And also was kind of a dick at a BlizzCon in 2010 to somebody. It's like, you can't say you spent your entire career fighting against bro culture and then did the broiest bro thing on stage in front of so many people. I mean, kind of can't have it both ways, man. But good riddance. I never liked him. I was kind of sad that he was replacing Mike Morhaime when that happened. And
which, to be fair, Mike Morhaime even like did a thing. He came out, which I think we may have talked about, and took responsibility for the bad culture that developed under him. And which, I mean, these higher up leaders, they sometimes have a hard time getting down into the grass and seeing what's happened, especially when certain barriers stop these tendencies from getting up to the upper part. But he should have been much better about it. And he says that.
I mean, that makes him just as shitty as
I mean, you can't be
complicit. It doesn't change it. I mean, it. The only thing that I give him props for is the fact that he realized he had made a mistake and apologized for the culture that he had created.
He took responsibility for it.
Yeah,
that's the
which I'll give him props for. But he made him a shitty human.
Done something for it, you know.
Like if he had left and then blown the whistle as he was leaving.
Yeah, it would have been different, but.
Yeah.
And then
he left because the fucking what Activision wanted from Blizzard.
I mean, still stands though.
Somebody
that should leave and is apparently not is Frances Townsend. She's stepping down from her role in the company's women's network after being ridiculously, basically anti-feminist.
Condescending.
Yeah, like what. Why were you in charge of that? You obviously don't. Oh, I don't. My brain. It hurts me. But
I don't see her staying around for too long.
She's
they
relatively
are being
new,
aggressive.
I think.
She was just hired in January, wasn't she?
I think she was a relatively new hire, but again, I agree with Chicken. I don't see her staying around too long. Because, I mean, she came out and basically defended it and was one of the ones that was like, California's leading this crazy thing and it's all not true. And, like, you can't say
but it also
that
makes you wonder if somebody from Activision said, this is what you need to say. And then so she wrote up whatever it was and signed it.
Based on her, tweeting things about whistleblowing and why it's bad and other stuff, I'm going to say she's just a garbage person. Regardless of who told her to say what. She's just garbage on her own.
Yeah, I don't see her as oh no, I'm being told what to say. She's kind of, feels like she's more of like, I really don't agree with this because I'm a woman and I've worked my way up here and I didn't have to deal with it, so it's not real. So,
or I dealt with it and it didn't bother me like it bothers me.
Yeah,
so
I dealt with this
deal.
and whatever. You're just a bunch of wimps and can't deal with it.
And that was what's in charge of the women's network of the company. Really? Get out. Get out.
I don't know. I feel like her head might be on the chopping block next too.
Goodbye.
It probably because they've been letting people go here and there. That like most of the time with companies when things like this happens, they cut like really deep once and try to get it all out in one go. It seems like Activision Blizzard's kind of just like, well, we'll cut off a little bit more here to try to appease for the sacrifice.
Yeah, like they
maybe
keep
it'll go away.
sacrificing people too, which is nice to see.
Well, but I mean, also keep in mind, like, and I'm looking at this from a business standpoint, not just these are assholes standpoint. I understand these are assholes. Let me make sure I state that ahead of time before I say what I'm about to say. If you go in and you gut everything that's on there, you leave a void that's there that could be actually worse in the long run for the company when it comes to the business side of it. That being said, them getting rid of her her making her step down from the women's thing and then putting her in this position means they could be looking to hire somebody else
Yes.
to replace her and move her out.
Yeah, you want to make
Which
sure
allows
you have people
strategery,
in.
right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I
Which is
mean, and
not a
that's
real word, but I
why
like to use it.
Brack's out, and they have 2 co-leaders in right now that are working together to fill that role instead of it being another one, solo person. And it's people that are relatively new to the company too, which I think is key. You want somebody that has not been tainted by years of this kind of bullshittery.
A new set of eyes.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
a fresh
need
set.
a fresh
like,
perspective.
They're ready to go.
Other people have been fired. Diablo 4's game director has been fired. Wow, Clementine is trying to climb on me. Those are claws. And Jesse McCree, who was in one of the text messages about the Cosby suite that we talked about a while back. They apparently directly named an Overwatch character after this dude. Stop naming characters in games after real people.
I watched, like, I don't remember where I saw that, but basically the conversation that went on about naming McCree, like, they came up with a bunch of names and whatnot, and they really couldn't agree on one that felt like a modern cowboy, this mix.
Yeah.
And somebody suggested, how about we go with Jesse McCree? That seems good. And everyone's like, yeah, let's go with that. And they named it, like, they knew Jesse, and they picked his name to name the character after, and that, like, whoever chose that is probably one of his friends, if I had to guess, and that person made a terrible choice.
Yeah.
Either they're a friend or they wanted a promotion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been somebody looking for a little extra credit. Oh, man.
So I see Diablo 4 in development hell now because you've lost your game director and your lead designer.
Yeah.
Big rip. Like, oops, that's gonna suck. So I feel a huge delay coming.
Yeah.
And one of the World of Warcraft designers is gone too. Like,
yeah,
three,
they all got let go.
They dropped 3 heads on there and just went boop out.
Yep.
Which I foresee quite a few more getting dropped too, because everybody's keeping their heads down now. They don't want to be called out because the shareholders are very, very upset. Not only just the lawsuit, but they're not doing enough, and there's so much bad PR around this because it's not fading away still.
Yeah.
And they want bigger things to happen. They're also losing huge sponsors too.
Yeah.
Like Coca-Cola is like, we don't want to be associated with that kind of culture. I think
T-Mobile pulled
State
out
Farm.
too.
Yeah, State Farm is pulling out. Like,
yeah, for Overwatch League and the Call of Duty League stuff, they're pulling their advertisements from that. Because, I mean,
you said
companies
T-Mobile,
don't want to...
right?
Yeah, T-Mobile, yeah.
Yeah.
Companies
T-Mobile,
don't want to
Coke,
be
and
associated
State
with
Farm.
that. I even read an article, and it's not in this stuff, but apparently some of the Overwatch League shoutcasters were trying to avoid saying McCree at any point in some of the recent
I
things.
remember,
Where it's like,
reading that too. Like, they've straight up just stopped saying his name.
yeah, like, what do you do? Like, you guys have really shot yourself in the foot so many times that I don't know we can save the leg, you know? Like,
No,
Right.
the leg is gone. You
Yeah.
have to cut it off now.
yeah, we gotta
Like,
cut it off and move on here. We gotta fix this while we
you
can.
fucked up bad. You're gonna have to do a lot of work to even get yourself back to neutral, like where people don't think of you and go, "You guys are a piece of shit."
Yeah.
So
It's gonna take
you
a
got
while
a
for you to
long
get to
way
that
to go.
point. You can ask EA and Ubisoft that are both struggling with similar things right now. Although Ubisoft's struggling in the same like present state that Blizzard is, but EA's like, we're trying to not make you hate us so much. Is it working?
We're trying
for the most part, maybe, but still, your name will be synonymous with bad for quite a while until you completely fix things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
So-
gotta cost, like, that's a lot of money lost right there, ad revenue for
Oh.
stuff like that, after they're losing subscribers for their subscription-based stuff. It's just, ugh. Although, Oak and I mentioned this earlier this week. Yeah, they're suffering right now, but in a couple of months we'll have a new Call of Duty, so they'll get a new boost of revenue and things will be fine as far as the shareholders probably at that point.
I would also say that 95% of all Call of Duty people don't give a shit that this is going on.
100% agree. Like,
I mean, there's going to be people like me that are Call of Duty fans when it comes to gameplay and all that, and I love to play the game, but I ain't dealing with this shit. I say that's 5% of us.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I
being
mean-
generous too.
Yeah. I am vast minority on
Yes.
Little bitty.
The Call of Duty franchise, that's definitely true. With the WoW franchise, there's been a marked decline, but part of that decline is also because of the state of retail, where they haven't had updates in forever, and when they do get an update, it's so far, since the last one that they've already lost players that may not come back for that. So retail's struggling real hard, plus the content's kind of garbage right now anyway.
Yeah, like people are just not interested at all in what retail is selling right now.
But Call of Duty will definitely boost their money a little bit. It's just, will it be enough to counteract losing all of their subscription-based stuff from the people that left from WoW, plus the advertisers that are leaving from Overwatch League and the Call of Duty League? Like, will that make it up?
It's hurting their stocks, which is what's going to force the change. The only thing the businesses care about is their bottom line, and their bottom line is getting hit. That's why they're like, hey, we're chopping these people. And their stockholders are like, that's not enough. You need to do more. All right.
That's why they're publicly announcing it too.
Yes.
So
Because
it
they're
goes
trying to
and
make
let go.
sure that
People see it.
the stockholders know because there's your bottom line, and B, the actual general public gamers know it too, so that way they continue to play the games.
Yep. So, well, again, with this story, I guarantee is going to be a constant
Yes.
over the next several
yeah.
weeks, months.
And I'm sorry if you get tired of hearing about it, but like I said when we started, we have to talk about it so that it doesn't get swept under the rug, because it can't.
Yep.
If
Exactly.
you start letting stuff like this, people just get away with it because we'll forget about it, news fatigue and things like that. There will never be any getting better.
It's just like with the riot stuff. We hate talking about this stuff. We want this to be as positive as possible,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, it is something we do have to deal with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like the people that are dealing with it directly, we have to deal with it as well. 'cause
I
it's
also
part of
feel
our
like a
news.
personal obligation to keep talking about it, because I mean we do still play WoW, so I'm not gonna play WoW and then try to ignore this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play WoW, understand what I'm doing, and still call them out on their bullshit. It's like I'm stuck in a horrible crossroads. So I mean I'm not gonna not talk about it because I feel
Well, I mean, it's a
uncomfortable
moral
playing
dilemma,
it.
right? Because it's like
yeah.
you know this is wrong, but you also have this obligation. So it's
Yeah.
like, what do
Yeah.
you do, right?
You get stuck in these gray limbo areas where you're like, but that's why we're going to keep talking about it. We're going to keep calling them shitty and bad faith until we see some real change. So it's not going to go away. We're not going to stop talking about it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else?
I think we covered it all.
That's it.
Sorry we had to end on
Yeah.
a not so pleasant note, but that's what it is. Go forth, play some.
I did
some
have
fun games.
something. Hold on, before we get into this whole conversation though.
Okay.
Chicken was talking about plot lines of newer games not being that good. Ghost of Tsushima had a good plot
Yeah,
line.
it did. I mean, I think he's right. It's
To be
not
fair,
all
to
games
be
are
fair,
bad. It's just
To
that
be fair, Ghost of Tsushima took its history from 450 years ago, so they kind of wrote a story
Yeah, but they-
based on.
Well,
Yeah,
that
but they
also
created
goes
fiction
in-
around nonfiction. That's
Yeah.
that's normal.
That
Yeah.
also goes into what I said about them actually taking time to develop
Yes.
the game as opposed
Fair enough.
to
Yeah.
well, and I mean,
I-
then you
I-
also
again,
let's rush this because money.
yes,
yeah, and again, Sony with their first exclusives are so damn good when they let them cook for a while and actually invest in the company. Be like, all right, you do you, and then when they're done, they're like, here you go, Sony. I hope you like it, and they're like, we love it. Here you go, consumer.
Yes.
And the consumers are like, we love it. So
Well, and then
And then they bring back the empty plate and go remaster it.
yes, as Baka mentioned, there's also the problem with bloat as and kind of like a filler. We don't have a really great storyline for you, so here's some stuff. Look at it, isn't it pretty? Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting a rideable bear for some reason in their next update.
I actually don't have a problem with this. And the
It's
reason
so
I
weird,
don't
man. Why are you a Radical Bear? What? This
I
ain't
don't
Far
have a
Cry?
problem with it because it's not in the main storyline. It's just something they're adding on afterwards. Like if they had put it in the original game, like if they'd gone like Far Cry with it and just been,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to have, you know,
But it's still
crazy
content.
shit
Fun
and
stuff.
add it in, and then I'd have a problem with it. But with something like this, it doesn't bother me just because it's like they know what they're doing when they're doing that, and it's just because it's like people enjoy playing the game. Let's add something
But
into
we've
it. It's
also
crazy.
seen in the past from several various Assassin's Creed games that Ubisoft is very guilty of bloat to make up for short stories. So
100%.
Yeah, which is fair. But we definitely need to wrap this up because it's raining and there's some storms and wind
Oh,
coming, and I
okay.
would really hate for it to go out here at the end.
yes,
We do
So-
appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Different Respawn. As always, you can check me out words.
words
I'm
are
done.
so hard for you. You can check him
Check us-
out at
Check us out at Infinite Res PC.
Check us out.
You can check me out personally at MDB Oak Tree. Check out Grif.
at Grif Slidem.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Check out Baka.
Baka Pickle.
Also, make sure you check out Grif's YouTube channel.
Oh, I haven't
Go in there,
updated
hit all the
that.
like buttons.
Yeah.
Do what?
Next month is when I'm hoping to get back to doing YouTube stuff because I will have a free day. Wait, maybe next month. It might be the month after. Let me think. Let me schedule some things and see how it happens. It'll either be next month or the following month. So September or October, I will be back to YouTube. And you can watch me pick Skyrim back up after like 6 months and try to figure out what I'm doing. Stopped right in the middle of some DLC that I didn't realize was DLC. We'll see what happens.
Too funny. Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/Elite Chicken 313. We're chicken this fall. We'll be
Yeah,
back on too.
Yeah. Oh man.
Either
gets
next
hard
month or the month
sometimes
after. See, we just
to-
throw
to-
shit out there.
I just want to throw up a stream and play Pokemon Unite and show everybody how good I am. But
Make sure you hit that follow button on him so that way when he does go live, you know it's available. Also, make sure twitch.tv/MDB Oak Tree, where I'm on just about every day of the week, but Wednesdays nowadays, because we're back to that. And then football season starts. I'm off on Saturdays. And then 2 weeks from now, is it 2.5 weeks from now, I won't be on here because I will be in Seattle for PAX. I am fully vaccinated. I get to wear my mask that I love that says vaccinated on it, along with my Sea of Thieves mask that I purchased just for the trip.
double mask it. You gotta
Double
wear one
mask
over.
it.
Please go
You gotta
get
wear
vaccinated.
one over your eyes and one over your face. One
Yes.
over your mouth.
Just
Do all the
blindfolded.
things. Yes. And so I will be going out for that. So I get to talk to you all about fresh new games that hopefully I've gotten to play. There's supposed to be half the amount of people as normal, so maybe the lines will be shorter.
Good
So we'll
luck with
see.
that.
Make sure you
Wait
bring
for it.
gloves so that whenever you have to touch other things.
Hand
that-
sanitizer.
Oh, that's a great idea. I didn't think about that. Brilliant. Love it.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of them sweaty folks going.
I was just thinking about bringing a
Ah.
giant thing of like hand sanitizer like this.
Yeah.
And just have, like, a backpack full of, like, a camel pack?
Perfect. You just.
Alright,
let's
got
play
a box
this.
of like the doctor gloves.
Yeah. Just take those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Walking up to every game console going. Let's get this
Shut
going.
up. Oh my god, we gotta go before the storms get here.
All right. Go.
For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
Griff.
I'm Chicken.
Baka.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.